Hello. Let's see this problem of determining the cam profile. So first let us go through this problem. Now through this problem we'll this time try to understand or we'll learn how to get the displacement diagram for a follower with equal uniform acceleration and retardation condition. As well as here in this problem, if you see the cam with a 30 mm minimum radius, that means the base diameter is given, is rotating in clockwise sense at a speed of 1200 rpm. This is for the cam conditions are given, and has to give motion. This time a roller follower is used whose radius of the roller is given 10 mm and the motion is defined below. So how it is, the motion is the follower to complete outward stroke, that means the lift of the follower of 30 mm during 120 degree of cam rotation. So side by side, if we go on writing the given data, so it is a cam with roller follower this is given to us, and the cam speed is given to us is 1200 rpm clockwise. Then the motion stroke is given, stroke is given 30 mm. Now the follower motion. So first follower is to rise. So this rise is taking place for 120 degree of cam rotation. Now this rise with it, now for rise the motion is described as equal uniform acceleration and retardation. That means when the follower is accelerating while it is moving in the outward direction, so the acceleration is uniform, that means the velocity is increasing, reaching to a maximum value. Now the slope of the velocity will be a straight line this time then. So maximum, then for when it is preparing to stop, the retardation is also uniform, and that is taking equal means, that means the entire rise if I consider, then half of the rise it is accelerating and exactly next half it is retarding. Then this is followed by a dwell. Dwell is of follower to dwell for the 60 degrees. Then third, it has to the inward stroke or the return stroke. Return is of follower to return to its initial position during again 90 degree of cam rotation. This is of 90 degrees, and this is also equal uniform acceleration and retardation. And then finally again the follower is to dwell. Now this dwell for remaining 90 degree of cam rotation. So it is to rise, then dwell, then return, and then again dwell. So what else is given in the problem is that again we have to as well determine the maximum velocity and the acceleration of the follower. These two things we have to as well determine. Now For equal or uniform acceleration and retardation, if we see the expression for velocity, if we see V max, this is given as twice of omega s upon theta. Now this theta is angle of, if I want to find out velocity for rise, then this is the rise angle. If it is for the return, then this is the return angle. Now we have been asked to determine during the outward stroke. Outward stroke is the rise. So for this, theta is equal to 120 degrees and omega will be equal to 2 pi n is given to us as 1200 by 60. So we get omega equal to, so that means it comes out to be 40 pi, I can say right now, radians per second. So Vmax I can find out twice of omega. Omega is 40 pi. S is 30 mm by, now theta is 120 degrees, so we have to convert it into radians. So pi by 180 into 120 degree. So this will come out to be somewhere 3600 millimeters per second, or Vmax is equal to, coming out to be 3.6 meters per second. So Vmax is done. Next we have to determine the acceleration, and acceleration is given by 2 omega theta square into s, where s is again the displacement. So again for this, theta is equal to 120 degree. Yes, omega is same, so we can find out, and it comes out to be, for when you put the values, you'll get this as 432 meters per second square. Right? So I'm not wasting much time in this. These are the values we have to just put and get the values. Now first thing, then now we have to determine first is the displacement diagram. So we'll first go for the displacement. This is the displacement of the follower. So displacement diagram. Now how we have seen displacement diagram of simple harmonic motion. Now we'll see the displacement diagram for a uniform acceleration motion of the follower. So first we draw this horizontal line which will be representing the cam rotation, right? So I mark one point here, name this as 0, and the vertical line will represent the stroke. So this is the stroke or the displacement. Now stroke is of 30 millimeters, so we measure 30 millimeter. Right, so this is the stroke. Now again here what we will do is we will be moving the cam in or rising the cam in 6 steps. So I need to divide this into, so when uniform acceleration, that means the curve will be coming out to be a parabola. So we have to get a parabolic curve. So for that I'll divide the steps. So in this direction this is the cam rotation theta, and this is the stroke. This stroke is 30 mm in this case, right? So I just mark 6 equidistant points first. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So I number it, say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So as I have taken 6 steps, so I'll as well divide the stroke into 6 steps. So this 30 mm, so it's a comfortable value, 5 mm each. 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So to get this, we'll be applying the rectangle method of getting a parabola. So from the 6th end and from horizontal, so I take this midpoint because half of the displacement. So first 3 steps the follower is accelerating, and the next 3 steps the follower is retarding. So this is for acceleration, this is for retardation part. So similarly I divide this as well into, so that means these are the parts which we need. Right? So from here, see, this is the division, this is the division. This becomes the reference line for us to get the, right? So as if this is 1 dash, 2 dash, 3 dash, 4 dash, 5 dash and 6 dash. So we'll join the 0, right? And then this is for the latter part, that means for retardation part. So we get these as the points. Now we'll draw the vertical lines wherever it will intersect this 0. Say this is 1 dash, 2 dash, 3 dash, 4 dash, 5 dash and 6 dash. So O1 dash and vertical line, wherever it intersects with O1 dash, this is the first point or the first displacement. Then from 2, O0, 2 dash, this gives me the second point. Then for 4th point, so from here, so this is the 4th point. This is 1, 2, 3, 4 from 5th to this column 5 dash. So I get this as the 5th point and this as the 6th point. So when we join these points with a smooth curve, so this is actually the displacement diagram for rise. Now this is for 90 degrees, 120 degrees. So that means this 120 degree is being divided into 6 parts. So this is the rise equal to 120 degree, right? So each division will be of 60 degrees. Then the next 60 degrees is dwell. So I can take any random length and that I can denote it as, anyway the displacement, what we are concerned about is the displacement. So from here to here displacement is going to remain the same. So I take this value and we show this as the, so this is the dwell, which is of 60 degrees. Now next is again return. The return is also same. So let us see how we get the displacement diagram for return. So again, for return, now rise is of 120 degrees, return is of 90 degrees. That means as if we will be dividing 90 degrees into number of steps, and that will be six divisions. That is always comfortable. So again, I can take some random but equal 6 steps. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So this was the rise of the follower. Now I want the curve to be some, so it will be the return of the follower. So let us number these points. So 6, then 6 to 7 we have taken this as dwell. So this is 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and then again 13 to 14 it will be, so the dwell. So now we complete this rectangle. So if you have noticed, we are getting the displacement curve. That means the curve is a parabola, and that we are achieving with the help of a rectangle method. So again, this is the midpoint. So first half it will be again accelerating. That means 45, for 45 degrees of cam rotation it will be accelerating, and next 45 it will be retarding. So here again we get this as the midpoint, and we have already divided this value, so we can mark those points. We have to divide it in 6 parts. So we get these points. So as if now we can say this is 7, so this is representing 7. So I can say this is 8 dash, 9 dash, 10 dash, 11 dash, 12 dash, and this as the 13 dash representing the follower. So now we join one end of this rectangle with 8, 9, and this is the diagonal of the rectangle through which we are determining it will pass through, 10, then for 11 and for 12. So for 8, again from 8 we draw this vertical line. So this intersection of 8th line, and this is 9, so the next point, this is 10, 11, and here we get 12. So again, when we draw a smooth curve through these points, we get the return stroke of the follower. What we are concerned with is the vertical displacement, these values which we are going to mark for. And from 13 to 14, again we can say this is the, so this is 14. So we say from here to here it is return, and remaining is again dwell. So this is return of 90 degrees, and this is dwell of remaining 90 degrees. So this is how we finish the the displacement diagram, and now we will see how to get the cam profile. So now we take one point, mark this point as O, the center of rotation for cam. Now in the problem, minimum radius, so minimum radius or the base circle radius is given to as 30 mm. So we take 30 mm in our compass, which I have already taken, 30 mm in our compass, OS center. So I draw first the base circle radius, right? Then I choose the vertical as, say, the line of action of the follower. Now this time the follower is a roller follower, and the radius of the roller is given 10 mm. So our roller is given 10 mm. So I take 10 mm in my compass. Roller and the base circle will be two externally touching circles, right? So say this is the base circle, the ruler which we have drawn. So I'll just show as if this is the, now here, and this is, let us say this is the guide, and this point here is the pitch point or the trace point. I name this point as P. The point P which I have shown, this will be the pitch point through which I'll be expressing or determining the locating the displacement, right? Because when these are two externally touching, when it is going to move, the contact point over these two profiles are going to change, so we cannot depend on that. So for that, now I need this circle which we are as well calling as the trace circle. So this will be giving me the trace point. So for rise, now rise is given, again the cam is rotating clockwise. So if the cam is rotating clockwise, that means relatively the follower is turning counterclockwise. So we will be moving the line of action in the counterclockwise direction. So rise is of 120 degrees. So we mark first 120 degrees. So this is the rise. So now we divide this 120 degrees into 6 steps. So we divide this into 6 parts and draw the line of actions here. So this is how we divide the rise. So this is the rise of 120 degrees, right, into 6 steps. And now we will be marking or locating the trace points on the line of the action from the displacement diagram. So this is the first. So from the trace point we mark it. So we get this as the first point, so I name it as 1. Then we take displacement 2 in our compass, second position as, so I get this as 2. Then 3. From the trace circle, 3. And then 4. 5. And finally 6. Now 6 and 7, they have the displacement will be same, and 6 to 7 is of 60 degrees. So from again here I measure 60 degrees, which is for dwell period, and this will be the line of action for that, and I can locate the trace point as this. So we have got 1, 2, this as 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. Now this time, these are all the trace points, so or the center of the roller. So here we'll have to draw the roller. So 10 locations of the roller, because the cam profile will be a common tangent curve to this roller condition. So we don't draw the entire roller, we just draw partially so that easily we can make out a common tangent of these two curves, right? And finally as if this one. So it will be comfortable if we, so you can see, so the cam profile will be a common tangent to all these roller conditions. So when we try to get a common tangent curve, so you see that as if this is the cam profile, right? So once I get it, so and from here to here, the distance of the contact point from the center of rotation is not going to change. So I can simply take this radius in the compass. So this will be the cam profile. Actually here also I should draw. See, you will get the roller to be tangent to this curve. So that means we are correct. So from here to here, this will be the cam profile. From here to here, this is the cam profile. So now we can just confirm this curve. Right? So this is how we get the for the rise and dwell. Now the part remaining is return. So again for return we will divide from here, we will measure. So I have already measured it. So this is of 90 degrees and each step will be 6 steps. So 90 divided by 6, so each will be of 15 degrees. So we will again draw these steps, draw the roller, locate the trace points for return and draw the rollers. I'll just show you how it is. So I have drawn the line of actions for the return, and from the trace circle again for 8, 9, 10 and so on, we will mark so for 8 from the trace circle we'll mark this, we get as 8, then 9, and then 10, then 11, and the small value, so where here it will come as 12. So this is 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 is again trace point touching its location. So now we again take the roller circle radius in compass. So at all these trace points we will draw the roller from all these trace points. And see, finally 13, again it will be touching the base circle. So now again a common tangent, something like this, will be touching here. So we are getting this cam position to be. So now when we confirm this, so we get the cam profile and complete it. This is again the dwell portion of the cam, and this is the cam center of rotation. So this is the profile of the rise. Here it is dwell, here it is return, and here again it is dwell. So that is how we get the cam profile for a roller follower, and we have understood as well through this problem how to get the displacement diagram when the follower motion is equal uniform acceleration and retardation. As well we have understood how to get the cam profile when there is a roller follower. So we have to keep in mind when we are locating the displacements, first we have to draw this trace circle. So that means pitch point, we will be locating first the pitch points, then drawing the rollers and a common tangent to all these roller conditions will give you the cam profile.